It is an issue affecting families and individuals across the board, and Genesee County is no exception. Poverty and homelessness taking a toll on the community. But as Brittany Shannon reports tonight, the face of homelessness here and across the nation has changed.
What was once the portrait of manufacturing and industry has transformed into a bleak and all too common picture. Blight, poverty, and homelessness taking a toll on communities across the country. Here in mid-Michigan, those who are working to end homelessness say they're noticing a trend.
People have this traditional sense of what a homeless person looks like, and that's very different today.
An increase of families and individuals that are homeless for the first time. People who would have never imagined that they would be in this situation.
People like Paul Bryant and his family who were affected when Paul lost his 8-year position as a project manager in construction.
They just started, downsizing and across the board. And, I was one of the ones that got downsized. We were struggling, we were staying with family, and then we were in an RV that had electricity, but it had no heat. It was just the beginning of November, so it's really starting to get cold, and that's when you really start to panic.
By the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development's definition, Paul and his family were homeless.
Almost paralyzed. I mean, that's the only way I can really describe it is if you fell off the boat, you're in the water, the boat's leaving, there's no way that you can save yourself, and the Shelter Flint was that little rescue boat that came and picked us up and got us back onto the big boat.
The Bryants now own their own home with the help they received from the Shelter of Flint. But there are many people still needing assistance. In the month of April, the shelter received 537 crisis calls.
It's not a single person living under a bridge or an overpass anymore. It's families, it's children.
60% of the people helped at the shelter are kids. In Genesee County alone, there are more than 3,000 children without a defined home. Shannon Weisinger knows what it's like to be homeless with kids.
I had been out of work for a while, and I was living with my sister, and I needed to get out.
Weisinger is in the transitional housing program offered at the shelter. She is now going back to school and supports her 2 sons.
Almost where I want to be. Not exactly, but almost there.
Faced with a growing population of people struggling to make ends meet, area organizations are strapped for cash, faced with less funding and more needs. It's forcing them to work together to more efficiently help people like Paul and Shannon.
They can find out.
Officials with the Shelter of Flint say people often wait until it's too late to reach out for help. For more information on how you can receive assistance, head to our website, mynbcnews.com.